Project Rally Media, Episode 2. The plan was simple. 5 days in Germany, full service and a new color for the car. I would work during the day and spend the evening with my favorite aunt, right where my mom grew up. Easy, right?
Cream, get the money, dollar bill, y'all. Ramen noodles for a meal, how I feel, dawg. Why you placing judgments? I'm just trying to live, dawg.
This is also the first time I'm properly tearing apart a car like this. Bumpers off, panels off, mostly everything stripped down. Because if you do it, you should do it properly. The lowest section would get a 2K bedliner finish. Same stuff you use for pickup beds. These cars should last some day on the gravel, so we do it like that. But also sanding revealed something else. Scratches everywhere and also deep ones. Probably somebody hit a cyclist, I don't know about that. Paint has seen things. So instead of wrapping on Monday, we were still sanding late into the night. 5 days suddenly felt very ambitious.
As I roll the 85, like I'm on the getaway, 'cause I gotta get away, like the match to match the vibe. As I roll the 85.
So on the next day, we started with the primer, let it flash, then the bedliner. Rock sliders, and lower bumpers and all the small little parts we need, especially also the mirrors, because they also get some scratches. Meanwhile, the guys from bedliner handled the big service. First engine oil and transmission fluids and full check on the big service.
Yeah, like Mike J.
Day 2 finally felt like some sort of progress. Tapes are now getting off and paint is cured. Time to open up some vinyl. This is where the car starts to become something else, but we have never done something like wrapping a car, either him or me. So yeah, let's see how this turns out. We started first with the trunk, but immediately made a big mistake. We thought splitting the vinyl would help. It didn't. Slowly then progressed into the other parts there. Tom laid the bases, I tucked the edges on the wrap. And that also became then our workflow the next few days. Panel by panel, toast as fuel, so like midnight toast, and midnight as normal. Working on this car during the day and seeing my aunt in the evening. Yeah, I don't think so, huh?
'Cause I gotta get away, like the match to match the vibe. As I roll the 85, like I'm on the getaway, 'cause I gotta get away.
But we were running out of time because we had to somehow finish until the weekend.
Words over beats, sell the devil your soul for some material things. Sell a woman a ring for dedication to me. Sell a king a crown that he will never.
And then it got very interesting because the front bumper came. This was probably the most painful part in the whole job, after the back bumper. 2 hours of grey hair, at least minimum.
That never planned to be free. I never planned to be me. I only plan to be I. That other vision of me is created within a lie, and that's my control. It's like compulsion.
Yeah, we tried to stretch this and heat this and reposition it, and I think we also had to try then a second time and redo it. In the end, we somehow managed to put it on there, and I laid then also the edges and the inlays. We didn't rush, that was our main goal. We tried not to rush, even that we had like a week of time window, but we managed, and it somehow turned out. After all the little inlays of the bumper and like stretching the vinyl until its limits, and then it got even better. The rear bumper wasn't even better at all. Tight corners and even deeper inlays. But slowly the identity started to appear. This wasn't a grey car anymore. now was like something totally new, and I liked it a lot. Then step by step also the pinstriping came, which was a very nice experience because we worked with 3M knifeless tape, which is pretty precise, but you have to line up everything pretty good.
Memory is the chain that connects our past to our present. If it breaks, we're left untethered, incapable of leaving the present moment and unable to embrace.
The sides first, then the rear, and then the front. Each line some little more details over the whole car, and it matches absolutely sick with the wheels. The pinstriping also took some patience out of me. Can't eyeball it because it's like you have to find the lines of the car very well. So I had to reposition like these lines many times. A major milestone, finally the Porsche emblem back reinstalled. Door handles also getting wrapped. These were like a pain in the ass. Small details but very big difference.
Rat tail in the back while my barber fades me. Do you remember when? Yes, no, maybe. You would hear a song you like, and it felt like it was about your life. Remember when you would write a letter to your girlfriend?
At the same time, bedliner handled the wiring of all the small lights I did additionally. I don't know anything about wiring and I hate working on electronics on any vehicle, so they handled that for good. 4 lights in the front, 2 on top. Seat out, so the battery was exposed and we could install a fuse box. We had to fix as well a fuse issue because one of the lamps got a too high voltage. So seat out again, 5 days. Yeah, you remember, huh? One of the last parts was then also mirrors refinished in the 2-component paint. Reassembled, by now the car was almost complete, put together. But one big thing was missing, the identity. Danny from Decals prepared all the decals. We designed them together. Front logos, visor strips and side branding. And I have to say they turned out absolutely amazing.
You would write a letter to your girlfriend, and she would read it to all of her girlfriends. Remember staying up for?
It was very fun to apply them, because there was also a steep learning curve in there.
Remember G.I. Joe? I used to play Mortal Kombat with Matthew. I swore he used to cheat. I swear I could never beat him. Low sound with jawbreakers, I swear I could never beat him. Baddest chick in the school, I swear I could never beat her. Until I wrote her a letter.
Vision, Rally Media, Porsche 957 the car. Those weren't just stickers, they were finally integrated in the car. And it looked just sick.
Yeah. Feel alive, did you get alive? If you feel it, raise your L in the sky.
And once again, nothing ever goes according to plan. Wanted to mount the roof tent on Friday evening, but sadly Wikiwood didn't send any mounting hardware, so we had to wait until Saturday so I can drive to another store 2 hours away to get mounting hardware and then do the whole assembly on Monday. Instead of having 5 days, I had 9 days. But in the end, it was an absolute blast to work with the guys at the workshop. From there, I drove all the way back to Switzerland with 100 kilometers per hour because I had a roof tent on it and couldn't drive faster. So we have some snow. Get up this hood. It's time to have a little review, show you how the car is looking. After I drove back from Germany, I had to dismount the tent on the roof because I didn't get in any parking building. So now I'll give you a little feedback on how the car is looking and what we have done. First, it is actually snowing and it's looking pretty sick. So we have the light parts, light here, as already shown, Baja lights. It matches absolutely beautiful. Also with the lower parts of the bumpers in black. I think we have to go for the chrome delete in a further part and also update the headlights. I did all the exterior parts and also the vinyl stuff with Decals. They are in Malters and they did an amazing job. It was actually quite difficult to mount everything because First, I didn't use water and soap mixture, which was then pretty difficult to rearrange the positioning of the decals. And after I figured out how to do this, then it was pretty good. And they did an absolutely amazing job also in designing the small details as the 957 Dakar. Which is absolutely amazing. And also shout out again to Kfz because they helped me so much with like the repair of the car, the transmission service and motor service. So thanks again for this, and also thanks again that they lended me their space for a week. I thought, yeah, it's gonna be like 1 or 2 days for everything, but the wrapping of the car was pretty intense, but it turned out so good and I'm so happy we did it. And also Tom, thank you for everything. So yeah, also let me know what I should do next with the car, what exterior parts I should mount, or what upgrades I should give. And then we'll decide what is up next and what is gonna end up on the build next. So see you next time.